Hello.
And welcome
To the Minimum Wage Podcast.
where even the name is above our pay grade.
Today,
Yeah?
it is post-Christmas, post-January.
Post-Christmas, not post-January, post-New Year's.
Post-January 1st. Post-New Year's, yes.
Post the first day of
Yes.
2023, dude. Hopefully,
New Year.
Hopefully it'll be a lot better than last year. And I don't know about you, but so far it honestly kind of has been. This past week has not been that bad, you know?
Really?
And I've actually been doing some work, making some schmuckles,
Ooh.
as you do, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then immediately spending those things on stuff I got to spend. For instance, my massive bill for my college fees, bro.
Oh, my gosh.
Because although we just had Christmas and New Year's, and it's a new year, yeah, well, guess what that brings with it? A new semester of hell, dear Lord.
Oh, no. And a new semester of fees, dear
A
Lord.
new semester of tuition and fees.
Oh,
and dealing with financial aid, this and that, and whoever. Lord knows.
I hate that, dude.
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
They charge so much money.
For no reason.
no
There's
reason.
so many things. If you look at the breakdown, bro.
Just as an example, like I have $175 athletic fee. I do not play sports at college.
Oh my god.
I don't use the wellness center. I don't use the student center.
No, but that's another
I
fee
use
too.
the
If you use the
all
wellness
those
center.
are buses. All those are fees. It should be
Yes.
like a fee that like I walk in there and I say I would like to sign up to have access to this semester, and they say, okay, what's your JAG ID? I tell them, and they go boop boop, or I just take my card and I go whoop, and then I like
You pay for it for the semester.
I pay for it for the semester. Why am I getting charged for something I'm not going to use?
Yeah, I hate that. It's literally just a scheme, dude. The
It's
colleges
just a
are
scam.
literally just in it to make money.
I also haven't bought my books, but
yeah, I don't buy my books, dude.
this man has said
we've been on the pod already.
this
yeah.
man has said that he doesn't buy his books, and I know his grades, and he's doing pretty good. So,
Yeah. So
I guess the bottom line is, as long as you're showing up to class and you're doing the lectures and you're paying attention and you're taking, at least decent notes,
Yeah.
I think you're solid.
Yeah, I've said this in the pod before, but I'll repeat it. The good rule of thumb to use for when buying books, or I guess when not buying books, is the first day of class or the first week of class, if you pull up and you're doing schoolwork problems from a specific book, if you go home and have homework from a specific book, try and find that book online, like PDF version or whatever, and if you can't find it online, then and only then is the time when you should go ahead and buy that book.
But really start. So like, don't just type in like book name, PDF and then give up.
Oh yeah.
Actually do some looking.
Type in book name Reddit.
Yeah.
Type
just
in book name Reddit and see what comes up.
I'm sure you can find it on Reddit. And
I'm
if
sure you can
can't
find something.
Find it on Reddit, then I don't know. Just learn
Type
how to
in
dig
type
or
in where do I find my book? Reddit.
something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Reddit will have the answers for you no matter what.
Reddit always has the answer.
But Google will have the answers for you because it's pulling from Reddit. So
fact of the matter.
literally, if you type in blah 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 Reddit, it'll bring up a Reddit thread and jump
Indeed.
right to it.
But yeah, college fees and the price of college is crazy. I can understand the only fee on there that made sense for me is the transportation fee, because I take the bus.
Yeah, true.
But again, that should be something where I should tap my JAG card.
No, yeah, that's retarded too. What they do right there. I don't think I can even use that word. No, it doesn't matter.
I was just thinking about that, but hey, who cares?
It's our podcast,
Who cares?
dude.
It's our podcast.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of
If
here.
you get offended about it, doggone it, write something in the comments.
Write something in the comments. It probably won't pop up because the comments
Oh yeah,
that are potentially offensive are held for review. So
they're held for review. Doggone it, I'll approve it. I don't really care.
I guess so. Yeah,
if they want to flame me about something, I don't really care. I'll let them flame me about it, dude. If they've got an opinion, I want to hear it, whether it's good or bad.
True. Fact of the matter. Yeah.
Fact of the matter. And we read every comment. So.
Yep. I've read them all.
You've read them all, doggone it.
We were talking about college fees and transportation.
Transportation fee, yeah. So what I realized is the fact that the university doesn't actually scan your ID or have any verification that you're a student. All you have to do is pull up with a book bag and get on the bus. Might even not have to pull up with a book bag,
man. People be walking on
They're just hopping on the bus.
Dude, there was someone who was not an AU student. 100% guarantee you.
How?
Just a homeless dude.
How can you guarantee that, though?
Dog.
So that's exactly my point. That's why they can't do anything about it. If you're not scanning every person, you can't scan one of them.
Yeah, what's the point of walking around with these IDs in our pockets if the only like places they're used is to access like 4 or 5 buildings maybe?
Bro, and then the worst part about it is too, one of those buildings that I should be able to access 24/7. Like that's one of the reasons why we have scannable entry into certain places,
so that
is
you can get in
so you can get in after
at
hours.
night,
Yeah. So the honors building, I'm a part of the honors program. One of the selling points of the honors program
is it's like
they have a little building for you. If you're in the honors program, anytime you can pull up to the honors building. They started locking it with COVID, I think.
Really?
They started locking it at night.
I would have like
Revolted.
the only reason that I would have done honors is for access to that building. But as far as I see it, if I don't got a reason to be on campus, dog, I'm not on campus.
I'm not on campus.
I'm not on campus.
Yeah.
I don't get these people who are like at college like for the sake of college. Like, dog, I'm on my college. Okay, well, I do understand it. But it's just not me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm there for the stupid piece of paper that's like education does not cost money.
Yeah.
You have the internet. You can learn anything you want pretty much for free.
Oh, yeah.
All you're paying for is the piece of paper that says, like, yes, this person knows these things and they went to college for 4 years and spent money and were forced to do crazy hours and dumb homework.
And they did it.
I don't want to walk. After I graduate,
Oh, my God.
I don't want to walk.
Bro, I was thinking,
not
I was
gonna
literally
walk down
thinking,
that.
like, your ass is crawling
No,
or, like,
no,
run.
no.
No matter where you go, you
Yeah,
run,
no,
you
no.
crawl, you
Yeah,
sit.
I'm not going to walk anymore,
I
guys.
am not. I do not want to walk. I was
No
like,
matter what I do.
groundbreaking.
No walk.
Groundbreaking, really.
Just, you know what?
Live
I'm
your
done
truth.
walking. That's
Live
it.
your
Hey.
truth, sir. I do not want to walk.
I do not want to walk down the aisle for graduation
Yeah.
at AU. Apparently you can just get your piece of paper and just leave and like not have to deal with the whole like program. I don't care. I don't care if I still have to pay for the cap and gown and the fees and the bullshit. I don't care. I don't care. I just don't want to do it. Like,
Really?
why? What do I gain out of walking down?
Oh, it's not for you, dude. It's
with
for your parents.
With a
Because
My
your parents and your
parents-
family are like, oh, this man did something finally.
Nah, they're gonna say
This
No,
man
no,
finally
no.
did something.
They're gonna say this man did something finally after I'm like being able to like, you know, I don't know, make money, you know what I'm saying?
Facts. I know. It's dumb to me, too. But I'm just telling you their mindset.
But, well, you know, whenever I get married, they'll be there, you know.
They'll be like,
so-
this man did something. Whenever
Yeah,
you
there
walk
you
down the
go.
real aisle.
Yeah. That's something important.
Yeah.
College, that's not really important. That's like
No.
oh, well, whoop-de-doo, this man went through hell for a couple of years.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason why you see like the graduation,
know.
the whole ceremony and everything is literally just to make college seem like it's a big thing, like it's a more appealing thing.
Yeah.
Like you have to spend, you can justify like the 60 grand that you spend on college.
Because it's just big
You
hoopla.
know how
It's
many
not. It's
people,
just a
you know how
simple
many
thing.
people spend like 10 grand or more per semester? It's ridiculous. There are so many people. Well, I went to Athens one time, right?
Yeah.
And I would ask like really anybody that I talked to where they were from.
Imagine being from out of state though.
Bro, I would say 90%
Like-
of them were from out of state.
Oh, they're
I
paying
talked
so
to
much.
like I would say probably 10 out of 15 people I talked to were from out of state, not gonna lie.
Damn.
At least.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
That's pretty crazy because it goes up quick.
And it was
in
weird too
terms of
because they were
tuition.
all from like New Jersey. They were up from like all up the
They're all
East
coming-
Coast. I found one girl from Colorado. And so it's like, where are they coming from?
Uh-huh.
Why? Why are they
Colorado.
going to
Colorado.
University of Georgia, dude?
Lord knows.
Lord knows.
Anyways, yeah, what can be done about that? What is there to do?
Really,
like, how can we
certifications. Like you see the world moving more to like a certification-based system.
I really don't even think like for what the work that we're trying to do, we don't need college.
No,
We don't. All we need to like, yeah,
it's
The-
one route.
like we could spend the 4 years at college. Like if I wasn't getting paid to go to college, I would not be going to college.
And it's the same thing for me.
100% guaranteed. because it would just be stupid.
Yeah.
It would not be a smart idea to be paying money to go to college.
Yeah.
Whenever I could be working a job and then in my off time come home, use the free access of the internet, maybe pay for a couple courses here and there, maybe adds up to maybe $1,000, $2,000 in my courses and all my certs.
Yeah.
And I'm better prepared for my job than the person who went to college for 4 years.
Absolutely.
I'm done in 2, and I have money and a house.
Yeah. It's great, dude. There's definitely multiple paths to success. And the traditional path of college and whatnot is not really as applicable anymore with the modern age. You have so many different ways of making scalable income. College is really teaching you to be able to work one job, tie yourself directly to your time.
But the only reason that you need it is because some jobs won't even let you in to have an interview unless you have a degree.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That is the stupid part.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I don't want to work with a company that
does that.
That is that short-sighted and dumb.
Yeah.
If they're not able to, maybe it helps them to sort through the people.
They better have a better process for sorting through people than that.
If they're thinking smart, they're gonna have a better process for sorting through people.
And bottom line is that's not the company you want to work for. If they're hiring, I would say hiring is the foremost. There's two big things, okay? In a business, you have to think about advertising and you have to think about hiring. I think the two people that should be paid the most are not the CEO,
but the people who
and
are
the
thinking
COO,
about those two things, because they're the ones
advertising, the head of advertising, number one. He should get paid the most, I think. Because if your company does not get seen, your company doesn't make money. He's literally at the head of making money for your company. He should be paid the most. Then number two.
Or at least up there.
Yeah. But realistically, he might honestly be paid the most in my company. But then number two is you've got the HR hiring manager. You need to make sure that the people you're hiring are actually good.
You need to have a good hiring manager.
You can get 3 people. Or you can get one that does the work of those 3 quicker.
If all you have are good hires, things run smooth. But and it's not just the ability to do the work, it's how they work with the other workers.
Yeah.
Like the person who's hiring needs to both understand the actual job, what needs to be done, and the skills and abilities needed in order for that job to be done, or to recognize someone who can very easily learn those with the understanding that they already have.
Yeah.
But they also need to understand the people aspect of it. Of I can't be bringing in someone to the workspace
who's not going to meld well with these other personalities.
Hate all the other people, or everyone's just going to hate him. That's just not a good idea.
No.
So
you need somebody from the department where the person is going in. Really, if you have a team of 4 and you're hiring somebody to be their 5th. You better bring in at least one of those 4 to help hire.
Things.
That's absolutely. If they don't have a say in things, this guy pops in out of nowhere. They're like, "What the hell?"
Say what they're looking for, what role needs to be filled.
Yeah.
And so say, well, we could really use someone who could help do and then they say, okay.
And who knows that better than the person on the team?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody.
Nobody.
So I think the hiring manager should have a part in every hire, right?
Indeed.
And the vetting process should be incredibly good before they waste my team's time. If I have a team of 4 that's doing incredibly good work, I'm never going to want to pull one of those 4 out to help me hire a 5th.
That's the bottom line.
Why would I ever want to do that?
Right. Yeah.
So I want to minimize that opportunity as much as possible.
By having someone who's just a master.
I want to think that every single interview that is taking a team member of mine that's not absolutely their job is not hiring, any process that involves somebody who has another function for their job,
Indeed,
their time needs to be used sparingly as possible. So that candidate better be the best one out of every single one. I'm going to give them maybe the 5 best maximum. And I'm not going to waste any more of their time, because the reality is, if you have team members they have a job that they're working on currently, and you pull them from that job to go do something like help hire somebody, you're being incredibly unproductive with their time.
Yeah. Now, there is another way to. That was a bit of a rant there.
Little tangent. Yeah.
I'm
I'm just very passionate about people doing their
people
jobs.
need to get paid for that. You know what I'm saying?
People need to get paid for their job, and that's about it.
That's the fact of the matter. I'm barely getting paid for mine.
Dear
Mercy,
Lord.
mercy.
Hey, hence the name. Minimum Wage Podcast.
Minimum Wage Podcast. We're still here. So while there is the way to get job interviews through having a college degree and saying that, there's also networking.
Yeah.
Now, granted, college is a hub of networking.
Yeah.
Which is one of the big benefits, and one of the real benefits that college still has today is it is a hub for education and networking, but it's also a very pricey hub.
Yeah.
And to be honest, most of the places you could probably not be in college and still pull up.
Oh, without a doubt.
And still get
I would say 99% of the areas on campus where you'd find people, you could just pull up not being a student.
Probably not downtown, because isn't that place?
No, you could be on the first floor without any identification. You could sit in that little coffee hall. Bro, also you could go to the second floor. Really, you're supposed to have a badge to enter the second floor. Who's going to be checking your badge? Nobody.
Okay, well, see, that's the bottom line.
Because I ran up there. Listen,
the
I know from firsthand experience, actually.
That's it.
On the first day of classes, I didn't have a badge. And I actually didn't even know that you needed a badge to go to the second floor. So I pull up, and I go to my classroom, and I realize you have to scan in to get into the room. I'm like, what the heck? So I just knock on the door, and somebody let me in. And they're like, dude, you didn't get your badge downstairs? I thought they weren't supposed to let you up here. I was like, what are you talking about? I just walked up here. And then he was like, yeah, dude, you got to get a badge. They're not supposed to let you pass the first floor.
That's crazy.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, speaking of badge, do I have a class in the cyber? No, because I think I was going to have to, but now it's online, so.
Fire, dude.
Yeah.
That's honestly much better depending on what class it is.
What's great about online classes now is ChatGPT
Oh, my gosh.
Online classes are a joke. They can't have them. Can't.
No, you just
Every
can't.
college needs to cancel all their online classes now. Lockdown browser, don't care. I have an iPad. Sorry.
There you go.
That's the bottom line. Unless you have 360 cameras placed around my room, I'm going to just tilt my laptop screen up and slide the iPad in below and use a wireless keyboard. Fight me.
That's wild, dude.
Fight me. Stop me. What are you going to do? Nothing.
Yeah. There's nothing that they have done. I thought that those tools were a little smarter. I thought they had AI to detect whether you were typing on something that wasn't your real keyboard, or I didn't know what they had going on, but I thought they had some tools in place to highlight your camera or something on areas where they were kind of maybe he was doing something here that he should not have been doing.
It would just constantly be highlighted for everyone, though.
For real?
How are they going to know?
I mean, if they had good stuff. If they had good lower word in the background, if they had ChatGPT working in the background for them.
Okay, well, they don't. You know what I'm saying?
They don't. Apparently, dude.
Apparently,
because I have friends that literally are on their phones during the test. Also, I had a friend that literally went to the bathroom in the middle of a test.
How can you be sure, though?
What?
Right? How can you be sure that someone's doing it? They can't. Innocent, you can't prove
innocent
it. It's
until proven
screen.
guilty.
As long as you're not
true.
pulling your phone up on screen, then maybe it's he pulled out a phone on screen.
Yeah.
Then if you do that,
I've
you're
had people,
dumb and you deserve to be.
Literally, I've had people that have taken phone calls middle of the test. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
They got whatever grade.
Which means it's not doing anything.
It's not smart.
Don't be concerned. Recently, I found that a lot of people just blatantly lie about the powers of things, and it's smart because it just keeps you scared.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, and if you don't do your own research and look into it, then you just assume, but then you find out they really can't do that.
They can't actually do that.
It's not a big problem. For instance, yes, they're collecting tons of information about you on Google. In order to track your ads, you can actually go and look at what type of profile they have for you around ads.
Yeah.
Half of it's gonna be wrong, 100%.
Really?
Yeah, not it's trash.
Did you look at yours?
Some of it's true, but they're oh, it thinks you're married. I'm well, nope, not married. And it's oh, you must own a house. I'm like, well, don't own a house, So
Really?
yeah. So
It thinks you're a married homeowner. That's incredible.
yeah. So there, it's
It
obviously very intelligent.
It probably thinks you're balding and are about to go through a midlife crisis too.
I forgot what my age was, but I think it was like between.
It's got to be in your 40s
and like 34.
Okay, yeah,
so.
that's crazy.
Hey, whatever
that's
it
lower
is,
than I would put.
It's
if
wrong.
I saw your search history, I'd be like, that man's an old ass.
You know my search history.
I don't know. If I saw it, I already know, dude. I see that. I'd be like 46.
My search history.
46. Yeah. But actually no, because you do be looking up some modern era stuff.
Yeah, I've been looking up ChatGPT.
Yeah, you do be looking up some
saying.
modern era. This is a 46-year-old that's in touch with the kids.
Yes.
That's what it is.
That's
yeah.
what. See, I'm trying to be that. I'm never.
I'm trying to be that.
I'm never trying to like lose touch with what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I always try to like get tons of emails and read articles.
That's
and
actually a quote from Dapper Dan.
I just like to be in the know. I want to know what's going on with the world, with the people. What are humans up to?
Yeah.
And the answer is a lot of stuff. Artificial intelligence, fusion, charging me out the ass for college.
Facts, dude. You got to be in touch with what's going on with the culture at the time.
You went snowboarding.
Yeah. I was going to give you a little quote, though,
No,
about that. A little quote from Dapper Dan.
From Dapper
Fashion
Dan.
icon.
Fashion icon.
Dapper Dan's quote is, "It doesn't matter how high you get." This is actually like a rough representation. I don't remember exactly what the quote was.
Are we talking about drugs or?
No, not at all. We're talking about like status, wealth, whatever it is.
Doesn't matter how high you get.
Yes. I don't think Dapper Dan does drugs. But yeah, Dapper Dan is like, doesn't matter how high you get, you got to always keep your feet on the ground. You got to always keep your feet on the ground.
That's the fact.
So no matter like where you're at in life, you got to always know what's going on at the bottom.
That's the fact.
If you're at the top, you got to always know what the common man is doing.
You got to be aware of the common man.
That's
However,
what I'm
I would
saying.
say that well, I mean, to be honest, ChatGPT and OpenAI are common man things.
They are. It's the common man's tool.
That's like anyone can go on there and do it for free. A free resource on the
It's
internet.
ridiculous.
You can just ask it questions.
Yeah.
And like, well, what type of questions? Ask them.
Ask it. Whatever you want.
Ask them what type of questions.
Yeah.
You can, you
can literally ask it that. Yeah. Literally
Just like,
any question that you have,
if
you
can make
ask.
a question, ask it. Now, if you're gonna say like, what will the Powerball, numbers be next Friday? It's gonna say, I'm sorry, I can't tell you things in the future, and I mean, it can't tell you things
That's
in
facts.
the future.
Yeah.
So
Can't tell the future, but
it has to be
tell
reasonable.
you the past.
And it also cannot do like recent events. I think it said from 2021
Up to 2021, I believe.
present.
It's training data. So, yeah, I think it probably stopped at the end of 2020. Like, 2021 onward is not taken into account.
But I think they're working on getting that trained up too and getting it ready somewhere.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I also find it crazy how it says that it couldn't search. There was a question I asked it, and it said it couldn't search the web. Or like it wasn't able to search on the web. But but it still gave me an answer that it said it like pulled off of a website. It's like pretty much it didn't have access to the web, but it pulled the
offline training data
off of what was on the web.
Yes, yeah.
So
which makes perfect sense. It's very, very scary to think about an AI released onto the web. That's so scary.
It wasn't allowed on the web. It didn't get to touch the web.
Of course.
That's something that people might not know is that it doesn't touch like the web. I thought it touched the web, which is why I'm like, oh, it's just touching the web,
No.
But if it did touch the web now,
that scares the hell out of me.
But it will, because when Google comes out with theirs, it's probably going to touch the web.
Of course it's going to touch the web.
It's going to touch the web. And I know, I love how we're saying this, like touch the web.
Touch the web.
I mean,
touch the web.
Like,
I'm scared, dude.
It really is like AI is a branch hanging on a tree, and the web is like a fast flowing, stream of water running underneath. Like it's getting closer, and the instant it touches, it's just gone. It's just gonna rip the whole tree out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like the water's moving so fast. No, it's so much data. so much happening,
It's
and then it
ridiculous.
just gets to like look at and analyze all of that, and then we get to ask it questions about that.
Oh my gosh.
That's the crazy part. Is it just has a bunch of data, and you get to ask what the question is that interprets that data. It takes that question and it gives you the answer.
It's ridiculous.
So eventually it'll just get to the point where we can just toss all of our data into one thing. We ask it the question, and it gives us the answer.
Yeah.
I love the programming. Like, the applications in programming are incredible. Like, it's so useful.
I know.
I've been using it a lot.
Yeah.
Even if I know how I'd write the code, I'm like, I'm gonna still type it in and
Yeah.
see what it says.
Give me the best possible runtime for
And there are
this.
times where like its options aren't as good, but that's just because I know like, well, you can do this little thing to like make it not as long or something.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like that's just like a little thing. You know. It's
Yeah,
just-
that was something interesting that I did is leak code questions on it. And I
And you
asked
just
it
got
for
them
the
all right?
best possible runtime.
Mhm.
And if I copy and paste the question in and have it spit out an answer for me, it's never going to be the best possible. It might be, I mean, I guess it's a toss up whether it's the best possible one or not. But if you say, give me the best possible runtime of this, it'll spit out the absolute most efficient code.
Dude, I also love how like I can say like, okay, write code in blah blah blah.
Python.
Right. Write code in Python that takes this thing and does that. Okay. And then it prints out that code. I'm like, all right, now add something to that
Ooh.
that also gets this, takes the previous thing, makes a little something something. And then it does that. And then you can say, now, like you can just
Yes.
keep adding more and
Yeah.
more. Like it's, you know, so as long as you understand the fundamental concept behind what you're trying to make and how to formulate that into a question format,
Game over.
then you can do anything.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true. Really, the skill now
It's
is
just-
realizing how to formulate the question for AI
No,
to give you the best
it's,
answer.
It's just understanding. All it takes now is like
Understanding of
having
a
an
concept at a
understanding
level.
of what you're trying to do. However, if you want that understanding, you can say, I think you can quite actually ask the AI, help me understand blank.
Yeah.
And then it'll say, okay, here is how you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. So, again,
It's ridiculous.
knowing how to ask questions, it's a valuable skill, something that should be focused on a lot in school. That is what the entire, like, scientific everything is based off of, asking questions.
Asking
So,
the right questions.
It's great that asking questions and asking the right questions has become so important and so powerful.
Yeah.
So, you know.
No,
it's just
legitimately, I think
interesting.
that's a skill that people will be paid for, is inputting stuff
Dude,
to
I'm getting pretty good at asking these
ChatGPT.
questions, man.
I know. The more
I'm
you
getting
do it,
good
the better you
answers.
are. We're on the happy end of history right now,
Yes,
I think.
sir. Love
Dude,
that.
yeah. So if you don't get in on this early, I think you will be.
I think you're missing out on.
Yeah,
on
you'll
so
be
much cool
100% missing out, and then in the future, you'll be very sad that you didn't get on
Because
it.
like whenever we're older, we can say, "Oh, back in my, I was around before ChatGPT.
I remember when ChatGPT came out.
Back in my day, we had to actually search the internet. Now we just ask the AIs."
Exactly.
You know,
Back in my
that's
day.
what we're moving towards. Because like back when the internet originally came out, there was like a couple of search engines. Or were there even search engines, or do you just
No.
like you
When the
just
internet
searched?
first came
You
out,
just
there were
s-
no search engines.
You just typed in the address of where you were going, and
Yeah.
you went there. And if you didn't, know the address, tough luck.
Tough luck.
And then there were search engines, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And then, who has the best search engines? And originally, search engines sucked, but then you could ask them questions. But now,
Oh.
now we got the AIs. Yeah, now we got the AIs, which is
Game over.
It's just a whole nother level in terms of from not having a web to having a web, and then having search engines to help you navigate that web, to where the search engines have come now to really, like, they do a lot of the work for you. The search engines, often you search for something and you find what it is that you're trying to find.
Yeah.
Like very rarely do you not find something, and if you don't find something, it's often because it doesn't exist.
Bro.
It's not because it's not there. It's because it doesn't exist.
Do you remember life before snippets on Google? You know what snippets are? Snippets are the thing at the top. Say I search, what is the War of 1812? It'll pull up a website that talks about the War of 1812 and summarizes it briefly, and the War of 1812 will be highlighted in it. And then I'll just read the real quick, like, little summary.
That's... Oh, my God.
Those are snippets in Google.
Yeah.
You've seen that. So
Yeah,
before that was there, they have insane AI working for that, first of all.
Yeah, that's
But before that was even there were no snippets. You just search for something.
And you had to
and then
just
I
go
guess,
through them all. You know
yeah, based on key terms or whatever.
1, 2.
Like, you would just see, like, the first one would be, like, Encyclopedia Britannica. And you click on that. You'd be like, yeah, that's the first one.
Yeah.
Probably what I need.
It's...
Then scroll through the page to find it.
It's really crazy, man.
Yeah.
And in terms of the evolution over time, I mean, we can see where it's come from. You can kind of see
where it's going.
Where it's
We
going
have no
ish.
clue where it's
But
going, really.
we can say that, you know, like, oh, back in my day, we didn't have the AI. Mercy. But yeah, no,
Doggone it.
I
Will we
mean,
even have grandkids to tell that to?
we can see where technology is going to be in about a year or two, and then you can make some vague predictions for about 5 years from now, but anywhere past there,
Yeah.
and you're treading into we don't know.
You know
Because
about
all it
Neil deGrasse
takes-
Tyson's predictions for 2050?
I have the book. They're in the book.
Are they?
They're in Starry Messenger. Cosmic perspectives on a civilization. By the way, he has the audio version of that online where he voices it. You know,
That
so-
sounds incredible.
that sounds incredible.
I love hearing
that
Neil
man's
deGrasse
voice.
Tyson's voice.
That's why I listen to like every podcast that he's in.
Yeah,
across the
it's so
internet.
gold. It
You know,
feels like honey in my ears.
How many hours do you spend a week tuning into podcasts?
Probably.
A lot.
No, honestly, not that much.
Not
You'd
that
be
many,
surprised. I
really.
would probably spend in total an hour, and half of that is watching our own.
Wow. Well,
Yeah. What about you, though? Because from you,
Uh,
it sounds like probably 10 hours, maybe
I
more.
watch like I'll go through 2 episodes of Joe Rogan a day, and maybe another episode of some other podcast.
Oh, my gosh. 2 episodes of Joe Rogan?
Maybe 1.5
I was saying on a per week basis. You're saying per day,
per
maybe
day.
10 hours.
Hey, like 6 to 8.
Good Lord.
I don't, it's just I like listening to this podcast because you just learn so many
Yeah.
random little things.
Podcasts are great, dude.
It's like
It's
even
similar
if
to a
I-
book, actually.
even if
because,
it's like having a book read in my ear,
yeah,
except it's a conversation.
yeah, I was going to tell you.
It's a
So
book conversation.
when you think about it,
That's,
what is the least value content? The content that's been produced quickly and with little thought and little effort put into it. Books are the absolute opposite. Some books take 50 years to write.
right?
That some person might only produce one book their entire life,
Yeah,
and it's like their life's work.
that's their life's work. Like
yeah,
that book is what they have been doing, which is it's pretty crazy.
yeah. And you can just get that knowledge. It's like a 3-hour read. You know, in 3 hours, you've gotten that knowledge. Now, on podcasts, if the podcaster is good at getting guests, it'll be people that are like books. They
Like
have
books.
so much knowledge
They have so much.
that you can just
tell.
start giving them questions, like rapid firing questions at them, and stuff that you want to know about the topic that they are a book about,
Yeah,
and you'll get the answers back that you want. So it's
That's
like
the bottom
sifting
line.
through the whole book. It's like a condensed version of that book. All the 10, 15 years of knowledge are condensed down into 3 hours of only the good stuff.
yeah.
And that's the best podcaster that.
Which honestly, I want to get like once we have guests that are actually. I mean, no offense to all of our previous guests, but once we have like a high profile guest,
yeah.
I would like to be like have a decently long podcast.
Yeah.
Because
If
I
we
mean,
got them here, like they've come
Yeah,
to the
like,
expense
I
of
got a
getting
lot to
all the way
say.
over here.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't think that we should be saying, "Hey, you came all the way over here," and I certainly hope that we don't have any high profile guests in this shed, man.
Oh no.
What a bad view that would be to roll up to this place, freaking
Honestly, they
walk
I
around
don't
back
know.
to shed.
They
I
might
don't
be
know.
vibing with it.
they might be vibing with.
If they're fans of the show, they'd love it. If they're
True.
not, then they'd be like, "What the hell is this?" And probably
Exactly.
not even come in. They probably just leave.
They'd be like, and okay, that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough of that.
That's enough of that. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got another meeting.
What if we just had like 1 million views and we're still in the shed? Like we get a billion channel views and we're still in the shed.
Something, bro?
That'd be wild.
You went snowboarding.
Yeah, I went snowboarding this past week. I guess it was. Yeah, so this week is the first week of January, and the week between Christmas and the 1st, I guess including the 1st.
Yeah.
Because the 1st was the Sunday ending that week. I went snowboarding up in the mountains in North Carolina. We went to a place called Boone, North Carolina.
Bro, it looked amazing on the
my
pics and videos. So much snow.
It was insane, dude. That was like, I would say 90% of that is probably fake snow. Or like maybe they have a very good way of like grooming the snow.
It don't matter.
Because it did snow. Like when we came up there was snow.
Yeah.
And there was like actual snow. But then we went the second night and they were blowing snow on the slopes.
Are they pretty good at making fake snow though? Like
it feels real for sure.
Yeah.
If they've just blown, it feels like powder.
Yeah.
It feels like actual powdered snow. Like it's crazy.
There are people who spend their entire lives doing research on like snowflakes and how they form.
That's wild, dude.
And like, because of that we are able to have these, fancy machines and we have our deep understanding of it. But it's crazy how they're like people who that's just their thing.
Their thing is knowing how snow works.
Yeah, it's it's just people find their thing or their things and then that's just it.
Yeah, that's their thing.
That's their thing.
Yeah, and I'm so thankful for the people, especially like specifically about like making snow feel like powder.
Heck yeah, dude.
Dude,
Thank you.
Snow that's like packed in like ice, because there's snow that's ice, or it's not. There's snow that's not ice, but it's like ice because it's packed in. That is never what you want when you're snowboarding or skiing.
Dude, there's something about powdery snow that's just so
It's ridiculous.
Fun,
it's so nice. Yeah. And you can stop so easily. This is really the main reason why it's beneficial to have powder on like a ski or a snowboard path. The slopes need to be powdered up for stopping.
Mm-hmm.
So,
based off of what I understand, you did not have a hard time actually with the snowboarding.
Yeah,
and,
dude.
And you told me that you were going down like Black Diamonds.
Black Diamonds
on
the
like
second day, baby.
Second day. This
Second
man's going
day.
on Black Diamonds his second day ever snowboarding.
Yeah, they were
That's
great.
Insane.
So the reality is, if you have prior experience on like probably a surfboard too, but a skateboard specifically, I have a lot of experience obviously with a skateboard. That's like my main mode of transportation other than a car.
And his feet.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know.
I would take the Ankle Express.
Because the Ankle Express might be used more.
Yeah, I might use a skateboard more than the Ankle Express.
Traveling like in terms of distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably say you'd take the Ankle Express more than just the feet.
Oh no, the Ankle Express is the feet.
Oh, it's just the
yeah,
feet.
the skateboard is different.
Oh, I would have called. I would.
You would call the Ankle Express the skateboard?
I mean, it would make sense because you're tossing the ankles down there.
You're saying ankle is walking, just Ankle Express is the skateboard.
Ankle Express
That's
is the
funny.
skateboard. Just ankles walk. Yeah.
I call the Ankle Express though just walking.
Absolutely wild.
Yeah, absolutely wild. Anyway, yeah. So I would say I might skate more than walking, for like long distance wise for sure.
Distance wise,
hands down, I skate more than I walk. But skating probably gave me a nice foundation because the movement is kind of similar to skating. The only difference is really that you have to have an edge in the snow at all times, or you want to have an edge in the snow at all times. What happens if you don't have an edge like dug in? So the way a snowboard works, you can see like you have just a flat snowboard and the slope is coming down like this. You've got to have some way of digging into that slope if you're going to want to have traction on the slope. So you have to dig in either your heel side or your toe side edge into the slope. And that's how you slow down. That's how you really turn because you have control over the board like that.
Uh-huh.
The challenge, though, is you have to go flat for a period of time. And the flat portion is where your back can catch like little snow drifts. The hill is not flat by any means. And there's different portions. There might be like a flat portion right here, like snow on both sides. like little mounds, little small mounds of snow. Somebody had like kicked up snow right there. Anyway, that snow can very easily like go on top of your back tail or like go on your nose or something
And just mess it on.
and stop you
Yeah.
or slow you down to the point of you having to fall. You lose your balance and fall. So when you're going straight, you
That's
want to
wild.
get to an edge immediately, like as fast as possible. So what you'll see snowboarders doing is like small little S's.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah.
they'll be on one edge. So say for instance, like I'm going like this. I keep my left foot forward. So on this, I'm on like my heel edge. So I'm going like this. And then I kind of flatten out. And then I go to my toe edge. And then,
Indeed.
and then flatten out and go to my heel edge.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah. The reality is, though, most people, you'll see them when they get started, and this is what I was doing. I would try to transition too quickly. And before you get comfortable with the board, before you get comfortable riding on snow, you have to practice, like actually just going flat carefully and then transitioning onto an edge to get your control back. But before I knew how to go flat, I was just trying to go from edge to edge, and I would catch the previous edge while I was trying to transition. And that stops you immediately.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's like putting on the brakes like super quick. So once I got the hang of it, I did manage to like bang up my knees pretty bad and my shoulder. Unfortunately, I went to the doctor yesterday. They said
Mercy.
the shoulder is going to be a 4 to 8 week recovery.
How badly did you?
I
mess
said
it
that's
up?
ridiculous. I don't know. So
They
they only took an x-ray, so they know there's no bone damage, but there might be, he said there's probably like some tearing and like some ligaments or something.
I got like arthritis in my thumb over here.
Dude,
I
your
don't know.
thumb is like literally twice the size of the other one.
Something.
Oh my, that's ridiculous. And that came out of
Probably
nowhere
have to
too.
Toss some ice on it.
I know what happened here and here.
It's been like this like a couple of days. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to toss some ice on it. Or something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so after the first day, like the first day I really spent like learning. We first went to like the slope that's not even a slope. It's like just a very small decline. And then there's like a mat, a carpet that brings you up to the top. And we started on that, and I really did not get the hang of it. Like, I legit was not doing good. And then my friend Colin, who I was there with, was like, all right, you ready to go up to the slope? I was like, sure.
I
guess.
If you say so.
It's not like I have a choice in the matter at this point. He's like, yeah, all right, let's go. So I go on.
So pretty much, there's some like principle or something where it's like you learn out of need.
Necessity.
Yeah, like I found that I learn so much better if I just put it off until I'm like, I gotta learn this now or we're failing. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, makes sense. Cool, got it.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
If you
just
put
it.
yourself in a state of stress.
It's just like, you know what? You're either doing it now or you're, F.
Yeah. And so, yeah, he definitely pushed me because on the second day, I never would have taken myself on a black diamond.
He's like, all right, we're going to the black diamond.
Because he's had like, I don't know, his family has probably been doing this for 5 years. So he's got like five years of experience snowboarding, a week out of every year. So he's very experienced at this point. And he's like, I don't know jack. This is my first time ever on a snowboard. So we go up to the first slope, and I actually managed to make it off the lift without falling, which blew my mind.
Incredible.
Like, I have no clue how that happened because the second lift I fell on. So I don't know what was going on, but the first lift did not fall, and was able to nice and easily just scoot onto my butt after skating down. And so I strapped myself in. This was my biggest problem, though, when I first got started, was strapping myself into the bindings on the board. Mm-hmm. So you have these big old ski boots, right? Really snowboarding boots, because there's a slight difference. The ski boots are kind of less malleable. They're very stiff, very sturdy boots for skiing. Snowboarding boots are a little more malleable, a little more like actual boots.
Mercy.
Anyway, so I try and put my big old boot in the binding, and then there's just two straps that you have to tighten down, and they're pretty simple. They're pretty simple ratchets. There's one that comes across the top of your foot right here, and then one that comes across the toes, like right here, and slightly smaller. You just pull it up, and it's like a ratchet strap where one end, the right end goes into the left end, for me, because I'm left foot forward, it's like this. The bigger one encapsulates the small one, and then you just crank it, ratchet it down to where it's as tight as it goes. And what I couldn't get was like that first ratchet. You've got to get it stuck on the first one, and then there's like ridges. You got to get it stuck on the first ridge, and then ratchet it down through the ridges. I just could not get it to catch on the first one for the life of me. It took like literally 3 days. That was the hardest part. I could ride the board. I just couldn't put the doggone bindings on. So we went up to the first slope, and I couldn't put the bindings on for my life. So my friend Colin put it on. He's like, all right, let's go. And we immediately just start heading down like this this green. It might have even been a blue square. He didn't even tell me what it was. We just went up. The entire time, I'll just say this. This has never been me. When we went skiing when I was like, I don't know, 15, I looked at every single slope. I knew exactly what I was going on. This time, I don't even know any of the names. I don't know the name of a single slope I went down. The entire time. I probably went down. I don't know where I went. I don't know where I was going. I was there we went to 3 different mountains. And we probably ran a combined total of like 25 different slopes. I don't know a single one. I don't know the name of a single one of them.
Incredible.
I was just riding blind, dude. Wherever Colin took me, I just go down it. Like, I don't care. Just whatever it is. But yeah, the first one, I busted my ass so many times trying to learn. But I would just keep getting back up because it's not really that hard. In snow, literally, you bust your ass like, oh no, that kind of hurt. And then you get up and continue going. Because it doesn't hurt nearly as bad as concrete or anything. It's just like the worst you're going to be falling on is ice, you know?
Yeah.
And that's even still a little less than concrete, you know?
It depends on how thick the ice is. It could
that's fair,
Could be some dummy thick ice.
Could be some dummy thick ice. You are wearing hella clothes, though, too.
True. You got some padding. Some padding.
A little bit of padding. Wish I had more padding on the knees, dear Lord.
Mercy.
Yeah, so the first day I kind of got the hang of it. I was kind of getting into it a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
We kind of got a little crazy with it. We ran on all of the like slopes on the mountain except for Black Diamonds, I think.
Oh. And so it's like, okay, next day.
Yeah, so the next day I think...
what option is there to do except for to go to Black Diamond, you know?
The second day, yeah, we had to do Black Diamonds, so I got it.
And
they were great, bro. The mountain we went to on the second day, Appalachian Mountain, I believe. And
Mercy.
Beautiful.
Mercy.
Beautiful. The runs were not that long, honestly, but they were nice. They were super technical. Nice. They were super nice, not gonna lie.
Mercy.
But there was also hella ice.
I've never gone snowboarding or skiing or really...
Never gone skiing?
Or really much with snow.
Oh, dude.
Much with snow has not been done.
All right, you got to go snowboarding sometime, for sure.
Something.
I want to plan a trip.
Gotta make some money. That's what I got to do.
That's facts.
Got to make some money so I can go pay for my own snowboarding trip.
That's facts, dude. Hey, when we're both like, fast forward like 3 years from now.
Yeah.
Let's go snowboarding in like Colorado or like
and we can
Canada.
Record it, make content.
Oh, yeah, of course, dude. I'd love to make snowboarding videos.
Look forward to the snowboarding videos. And
yeah, dude.
Lord knows when.
Lord knows when. But yeah, you should definitely try it if you can. And I would encourage all of you watching and listening, if you have the opportunity to go snowboarding,
do it.
Do it right now.
It's the fact of the matter, I guess.
Okay, enough about snowboarding. Let's talk about the FAA and the FDA.
Yeah, I think that especially the FAA, which is the Federal Aviation Association, they're the people in charge of flights and things that go in the sky and
aircraft
into space. And because of that, like every launch to space, I believe, I'm not an expert on law here. I believe
they're called lawyers.
Yeah. Don't ask me. Ask a lawyer or ask the AI. It probably knows.
The AI would definitely know.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like they have to be sanctioned by the FAA or something?
Right, yeah. And some of the approval processes for this have taken over like a year's time. If we are ever going to be a spacefaring species, we cannot be dealing with government shit for a year for one engine, or not one engine test, one test flight. We can't.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
We need to be able to like submit a request for a flight and get it approved that day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, within hours, within minutes.
Within minutes.
Why?
Like, hey, I need a flight to go up to here and land here. I think the flight that he wanted to do was going up and back down on his own pads.
Okay, listen here. Say I'm the FAA, right? Say I'm the FAA. I work in the launch office. Okay? Any launch that is going to happen has to come by me, and I have to approve it. I have to sanction that launch. Doggone it. What am I looking at before I approve something? What am I looking at? Why does it take me a year to investigate, analyze what's going on with this launch?
I think the problem is...
What's going on, dude? And that's unmanned aircraft too, right?
I think the problem is that when it is held by this like dumb government body called the FAA, that's very small. It's not very big. It's not a big organization.
Nor should it be. What are they doing other than signing? Yes, you can fly.
It's not. Yeah, it should be like a stamp. Wax, 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 wax. You know, keep waxing everything. Wax and ink. Wax and ink.
Yeah.
Pass them on.
Not even that. It's just you get an email. Yeah. Can I launch today? Yes.
Cool. You know what I'm saying?
I.
But at the very least, we need another association aside from the FAA, like specifically for space.
Yeah.
And there
Space
needs
Force.
to be like a very easy way to contact and approval because again, we're going to be a space-faring
Yeah,
species
I would love to actually know the process that they go through at the FAA to sanction launch.
I've heard like
launches.
Elon Musk talk about it. I also know that all your payloads have to be approved, but I guess that's reasonable. Because, can't be having people throwing up anything in space or something. I don't know. Or can we? I mean, can we just let people throw up anything in space?
No, because then you have to think about debris.
It going back down?
It don't come back down. It just sit there, and then we can't get out of the atmosphere.
Yeah, that's true. We do got to work on that, which should be monetizable at some point. People are going to find a way to monetize
I want to clean up space and make money off of it.
See, this is how things work. Back in the 1960s or something, no private industry is gonna focus on space. No one's ever been to space. No one's ever been to these places, which means the government has got to do it. And so the government did it not for the reasons that they said they did it, so they could flex off their great might in comparison to Russia, even though we lost the space race twice. Anyways,
tough.
Look, it's just
what were the reasons they said? Because I thought the whole thing was just to flex on Russia.
Well, that was I mean, there was also like one giant leap for mankind. You know what I'm saying? Which at the same time,
whatever, dude.
Yes, it was
flex on Russia,
but also flex on Russia. But now that we've proven that we can do these things, now it's up to the private corporations to step in and find a way to make money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like they spent crazy amounts of money on the first space program, and all it took was someone to say, "No, wait a minute, I can probably do that."
Did I hit record?
But cheaper. I sure hope so.
I sure hope so too. Yes!
Lord, hit record.
Let's go! I just thought about that. I know yours are recording.
Okay,
I saw them.
Mine are recording.
Okay, sorry about that.
Mercy. But yeah, what was I talking about?
Space race.
Space race, something like that.
Why we were flexing on Russia.
But whenever we initially went to space, it cost copious amounts of money. Our government spent crazy amounts of money on it, but it had never been done before. The technology that we were working with was groundbreaking,
mm-hmm.
and it led to future innovations in tech. For instance, power tools. Do you like power tools? Do you like things that were built by power tools?
No.
No? Okay.
No, I don't.
Well, this shed needs to go then. So
this shed needs to go. Also, like any iPad.
Also, like anything.
And literally anything.
Anything. Everything is made possible today by portable power tools.
Nobody's putting anything together with a screwdriver. Not at a scale, at the very least.
And that was one of the initial uses for such types of batteries, which they brought with them to space because they needed to bring batteries to space for these portable power tools. So that had a lot to do with it. So many technologies came from space and from what we've learned from space. The fact that people complain about, You know, like, oh, why are we spending all this money on NASA? Oh, why do they get like 1% of our budget? You know, we need to spend that money on more free abortions. Give out more free abortions. No space. We need free abortions.
We need free abortions. No space.
We need space.
No technological advance.
And these people are saying this off their phone, on Twitter, on their 5G networks. You know, it's like
that are made only possible because of space.
Don't trust science.
Yeah.
We didn't land on the moon. No space program. We need free abortions. Post. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, what are we doing?
What you need.
That right there is a failure in the education
You
system.
might think we need free abortions. What you need is a good set of parents.
What you need is an education.
What you need is to get your doggone dumbass off social media.
Something like that.
Oh my gosh. Dude.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, what you need is a little fancy book learning. Traditional fancy book learning.
What you need is the live in reality. Yeah.
That's the hardest one. I wasn't even gonna say that. People get so offended.
Well, you know,
we're not here to not offend the people. We don't care.
I guess so. That's the fact of the matter.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were here to not offend people, then the whole podcast would just be this.
Yeah, do you enjoy that? No.
Yeah, no.
I don't enjoy that.
You know, I'm just going to...
I want to show up
I'm
for
going
that.
to sit here, I'm going to talk, and I'm going to offend people. And sorry, not sorry. So
yeah, please leave your comments.
Please leave your comments.
If we offended you, tell us why.
Speaking of being sorry, we are sorry about last week's episode.
Yeah, last week's episode...
That was one of our topics.
Oh my gosh. We've been having hella bad luck when it comes to podcasts recently.
We've just been losing footage.
I know. We just lost the footage from the pod that was actually supposed to release today.
Yeah, that's what's
instead
supposed to be
of this one
episode. This episode was supposed to be that episode. But
yeah,
it's not. It's this
and
one.
Instead, we're going to re-record that episode, and then that will be released next week. So keep a lookout for that.
Or the week after, because then we have a guest for next week.
Oh, yeah, true. So probably the week after that.
Soon. It'll come out.
It's coming out.
It will come out.
Needless to say, though, we've got to re-record that. We decided not to re-record the one that you just saw last week. We got 45 minutes of footage. We recorded for like an hour 25, right?
Kind of sad though, because I feel like we did miss out on some good conversation.
We had great conversation, great footage.
Towards the end, we were like having great conversation about aliens and that.
Yes.
I forgot what exactly it was. I just remember that that was like the peak of our conversation.
I know.
At the end.
Like the last 25 minutes, and the part they don't have.
Yeah, which sucks. I mean,
I found the camera footage. I could release that, but you don't want it.
I mean,
I couldn't find the audio.
Maybe
I can't even enhance. I tried to make the audio sound a little better. No.
Maybe we do release the...
We'll figure it out.
I don't know.
We'll think about it. We might save that footage for
if you want to see the footage,
our 50th anniversary or something.
Maybe leave a comment or something if you want to just...
If you want to see the alien footage, leave a comment.
It's really bad audio. It's like the audio that's capturing on our phones and iPads right now.
Nah, F that. We'll have better conversations later.
That's true. I'm sure we'll have Augie back. I want to talk more about aliens.
Yeah. I'm not too worried about releasing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess without further ado.
I guess a couple last notes. We have a clips channel.
Yes.
MWP clips. Some people have been exposed to it. I've seen.
I love the way you said that.
Not all of. Well, I mean, I was gonna say some people have
seen it.
When I say been exposed, I was gonna say.
What does that mean, dude?
Because they had been exposed doesn't mean that they had seen it.
They had heard about it.
Just because it had.
You're saying they had seen or heard about it.
Just because it had been popped up in your feed doesn't mean that you saw it. You know what I'm saying? So
I guess would it even be exposure?
I don't know. I'm not here to get into semantics, dear Lord.
Okay.
But regardless,
if you've seen or heard,
channel. One of them doesn't have a thumbnail because I've just been really lazy and I haven't been working on making that thumbnail. I think I just forgot what I was gonna do. The thumbnail, but there's like 8 clips there now, and there's gonna be more coming from I think
019
is next, I think. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
019 clips. I don't think I took any shorts out of the one with Alto Pablo just because I don't know. There wasn't any
Not shortable.
short. Yeah. And
What
there's
about
something-
clips?
There's some clips.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, isn't the bacon?
That's one.
Yeah.
There's also like, I believe 2 or
Oh.
3 new clips out of that podcast.
Actually, was the bacon even on the pod with him? That might be a different one. Because
I don't know.
that's a short. Actually,
Yeah.
thinking about it now.
That's a short. So yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Incredible.
Awesome. Well, follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
At the minimum wage pod. We have a LinkTree. Go look at that. You can find all of our stuff.
You can find us on Spotify. Give us a good rating if you're listening on Spotify.
Like and subscribe. What should the people comment this week?
I mean, I guess really the question is, what did you get for Christmas?
Yeah, we didn't talk about that this week. But
That's
we
the
were
one
going to.
thing. That's what we forgot.
That's actually a pretty big thing. That's like a 10-15. That's like a 10-15 minute topic.
Doggone it.
We completely forgot about that. All right. Well, maybe next week, maybe the one with our guest.
Yeah, the next week with our guest, we'll talk about
that'll
what we
be-
got
wait,
for Christmas.
The next week or the week after?
Uh,
Lord knows.
Lord knows. Well,
Bottom
we'll talk
line
about what we
is-
got for Christmas soon.
Bottom line is, this
This
has
has been the Minimum Wage Podcast.
or even the name is above our pay grade.
Peace.